Hi folks, Winkle here. It's the last mission, which is aptly called The Last Strike, within the Hormuz Freedom Campaign by SorelRo. So we're looking forward to this one. It's going to be taking off from Siri as usual and following our headings. I'll discuss those a bit more in detail when we get in the cockpit. See you then, guys.
Good evening. Some rumors here that we may be packing up soon. Not like I have a lot of things to take with me anyways. Good luck!
Chief, turn on the ground power.
Right, thanks for the luck. I think we're going to need it.
Copy.
Let's have some light on the
Ground
subjects.
power is now on.
Right, the ground power's on, so we'll get our lights powered up, which is all good. Let's get our aircraft aligned as usual. Don't forget, guys, there's timestamps in the description below. So let's get our data, let's get our aircraft, let's get our kneeboard up as per usual. Let's align our INS system. North 255410, North 255410, and enter, and East 0543246 and enter, and our magnetic variation is East 1.9. That's not going to change anytime soon, so that's all good, even if I can remember that. Right, okay. Are we aligning? Yes, we are. Good. So now we can get our aircraft started. Decks, fuel, come on, fuel pumps, Betty switch, and engine start. It's all good. So we've got our nozzles set to 10 degrees, they'll come back in a moment. We'll just continue across, setting up our comms. So COM 1 we'll have to, we're going to have that 305, which is our inter-flight. COM 2 we will have, which I can never flipping remember. No surprises there for anyone that knows me. But that's why we have checklist 135.05. 135.05 and enter. So that's our Siri, and we'll go for a retrospective startup.
1-1, request startup.
While we start the rest of our aircraft up. Cleared for startup, Uzi 1-1. So 2-2 on the fuel. We can start bringing our floods down now, and then we've got everything sorted. Let's shut our canopy. That's good. Let's arm our ejector seat. And there we go. Let's just advance our throttle slightly. Make sure our pedals are working, which is all good. Right, let's come back round. We want our oxygen on, even though I will not be going high enough to really need oxygen. I know the brief said that we will be going up to 20,000 feet. However, if you've watched these, I don't follow the briefs blindly. I've got another plan. So obviously we're taking off from Siri here up to the coast. Waypoint 3, we've got our SA-10 threat here, which is why I'm not going up to 25,000 feet and then diving down and attacking. I'm staying below the mountain range here. So I'm going to stay below 8,500 feet. I will be coming up to 3. This is the way I do it, guys. Extending slightly, taking a nice slow curve. So I'm then looking straight down here. I don't need to worry about waypoint 4 then. So it gives me longer to set my weapons up, and I'm looking down through this gap here between the mountains. Okay, so I can see my target from way back here as opposed to waiting till I get here. So 8,500 feet. And then the other thing we need to remember is we've got GBU 54s and GBU 12s. Well, the GBU 54s are both on the same wing, and the GBU 12s are both on the same wing. So I don't want to be launching or dropping both of the same type at the same time, because the aircraft becomes quite unbalanced. It's still flyable, but it's quite unbalanced, guys. So, you know, my view, real aviation, aviate, navigate, communicate. I'm not sure in military aviation where dropping bombs on people's heads comes into that, but I'm sure aviate is still first. So I'm going to be sticking with that, and I need to fly the aircraft accurately. So I'll be dropping 1 GBU 54 and 1 GBU 12 and so on to keep the aircraft balanced. Right, I'm jabbering on. We are aligned. Let's go across to nav, make sure our symbology's appeared. Of course it hasn't, because I've been nattering, so I haven't turned my HUD on. Right, there we are, our symbology has appeared. Let's come out of data. Next thing I'm going to do before I disconnect the ground power is turn to waypoint 2, because waypoint 1 is literally just off the end of the runway, so it just saves me time in that high workload point in the flight. When I'm just taking off and doing stuff, I can actually just turn around to waypoint 2 without worrying about waypoint 1. So that's all gravy, guys, all gravy. Let's go back here, let's have a little chat with our ground crew. Let's get them to get the ground power off.
Turn off the ground power.
While they're doing that, let's just turn a few other things on.
Ground power is now off.
Excellent. And we will also get the ground crew to
Chief,
remove the wheel
wheel
chocks.
chocks.
And while they're doing that, we will turn the parking brake off.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
Okay, and then we will contact the tower and request taxi.
Uzi 1-1. Request taxi to runway.
Anytime you like.
Uzi 1-1. Clear the taxi to runway 30.
Clear the taxi, Uzi 1-1. Okay, there's our mate over there, who is about as useful as a chocolate teapot, but always trying to look for the good in people. At least he's consistent.
Rolling.
And we're pretty heavy, guys. We've got 2 fuel tanks under the wings. We've got 4,000 pounders. So we just need to be cautious, as we always are, whilst taxiing this little baby. Right, let's request takeoff.
Uzi 1-1. Request takeoff.
Approach looks clear.
Uzi 1-1. You are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.91.
Clear for takeoff, Uzi 1-1. So once more onto the breach, my friends, and I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank my subscribers and everyone viewing, and new subscribers, just for sticking with me. I know the uploads have not been as regular as normal, but I've not abandoned the channel. They will get back to 1 a week or more. Right, flaps to take off, full throttle. Brakes released. There's a slight crosswind, so it's going to be a little left rudder, just to counter that. And nozzles. And gear. So gear's coming up. No, needs to be really cautious with that. And let's just bring our nozzles forward, or aft I should say. Lower our nose to the brackets. And throttle off slightly to save our engine. And flaps up. Let's have a little bit of SA. I'm just going to ease round to the right to take up waypoint 2. Best takeoff in the world, guys, but who's going to know? One of the great things when it's dark. Right, okay, let's just have our autopilot on. Just for a slight climb. And let's just check our aircraft out. So, flaps are in the position, gear is up.
Rolling.
Everything's good, right, 2 is rolling, so we're just getting 280 knots. That's good, so we switch over to nav. I'm going to fence in now, before I forget. That's good, and we'll have our T-pod going. We can unsafe that now we've fenced in, take it out of training, double depress sensor select switch. Right, so that's that sorted. We can now switch over to the AWACS. Okay, that's good. We now turn our floods fully off. I think we're pretty much set up, guys. We have this on.
1311. Spotting that train was nasty.
Yeah, it was. All the AA around was quite a challenge. If we're down to hitting trains and factories, it must mean we're running out of important things to hit.
There's plenty of military targets around. But God forbid, what if we win this war?
It's not a war. It's a police action. We're enforcing safe passage of the tanker.
I thought it was a grunt, not a cop. But what do I know?
1-3. You know how it goes. They say jump.
Roger that. I know.
Okay, slight climb, guys. Just keep our airspeed up. We're only going to get up to about 8,500 feet. Let's take a little look outside. Enemy coast ahead. And wait for our wingman to catch up. Take him a little while. So as we're going in, I'm just going to take a look at my weapons. Need to do that, otherwise I can't see my stores page. Right, so I'm going to drop the GBU 54 off first, just the one. Unsafe, that's good. Back to HSD and into night. Okay, we're all good. Right, 7,000 feet we've just come through. Nozzles are fully aft. Lightly off heading, doesn't matter too much, but (7,600 feet). Autopilot back on. I've got a dodgy switch on my OTAS, so the gear doesn't always come up, but obviously should check that for real anyway. Just makes me more cautious than normal. I think we're all good. So we've got 17 miles to the waypoint, guys. I'll see you when we're making the turn.
Focus. Picture clear. Be advised this mission may be scrubbed.
1-1. Focus. We still go?
Mission is a go for now.
Roger. Just let us know before we do the tango with the SA-10.
Uzi, focus. My line with the Pentagon is a one-way line.
Roger. We are pushing on.
Okay guys, so you can see our chocolate teapot of a wingman has finally caught up with us. We're just approaching the coast now, 6 miles to run to the waypoint, and where we'll be taking a left turn onto waypoint 3. When we get to waypoint 3, as mentioned earlier, I'll be just easing past it slightly and changing to waypoint 5 and then designating our target down here, which will slew our teapod to our target, making life very easy for us. Already got our weapons set up as I can have them set up so far, so we've got 2 miles to go. So we will just whiz over to 3. Altitude hold
fence
off.
in.
Autopilot off.
1-2. Get ready to go low when they spike with the SA-10. NVG and FLIR is all good?
Roger. All green and looking keen.
Right, that's good enough for government work, guys. So we've got 24 miles to the waypoint. We can have a look at our knee board to refresh our memory. We're approaching waypoint 3. We've just turned here at 2. We'll come up to 3. I shall turn just after. Right turn, just slowly come round to line up here to peek through these two mountains, this saddle here. We can see this from a long way, even at 8,500 feet. Obviously our main threat, staying at that sort of altitude, is our AAA. We'll see how we get on with that. It is a little bit nerve-wracking to say the least, but we'd have to counter that anyway, because if we approached here and then got a launch from the SA-10, we'd have to dive down anyway, and then we've got a massive workload increase dealing with this thing and trying to get our weapons on target. Whereas this way, no drama, all chilled, which is the way I like everything. No unnecessary stress. Let's get on our heading correctly. That's better. Let's double check that everything's on, which it is. Okay, we're good. Lovely sunrise. Right guys, so here we are at waypoint 3. We would have started turning by now obviously to intercept the waypoint correctly in the turn, but I'm just going to ease past it as discussed earlier. We're 1.6 miles away, so I can now select just to overload us waypoint 5. Take my autopilot off, altitude hold. You can see it's pretty mountainous around here. I just want to leave it for a sec and then we'll just start turning in fairly gradually. Autopilot back on. Altitude hold on as well. And then hopefully that will bring us in nicely for the attack, which is, we want to see these contours here. We want to come in between those for the attack on the target, because we can then see from a long way away and it saves us fanning around with waypoint 4, so the target's up here. We can judge that now. We can turn in a little bit tighter. Just a caution for the autopilot coming off. So we designate our target. There we go, we can see the building on the T-pod right away from waypoint 3. Just saves a hell of a lot of unnecessary stress. I can't stand unnecessary stress, guys.
1-3, 1-1. We're gonna start our run soon. Stay out of AA stuff and don't run into any mountains.
Good advice, thanks.
Roger, just tell me when. I'll have them on my pod.
Well, okay, how far away are we? 20 miles. We've got our GBU 54s selected. We'll have our air to ground on. We are in instant. I've reselected my code, laser code of 1688, just to make sure it's been communicated to the weapon. Let's range this. Let's long hold waypoint increment. Transfer the data to the weapon. 15 miles from the target. I'm going to laze it because we've got quite a lot of slant angle here, and I've found that they miss quite a lot. Strangely, I've set up a separate training mission which is more successful, but you know, we are looking at quite an angle here. Even if we choose the base, they sometimes go long. So I'm going to laze each individual weapon, and obviously, as we mentioned earlier, we've got 2 GBU 54s on one pylon on one side and 2 GBU 12s on the other, so we need to launch one at a time, or drop one at a time, otherwise we really unbalance the aircraft. But here we go, counting down. It's getting exciting. 10 miles to run. So the laser's effective under 10 miles, which is great. It's armed. It's in full mode. Full strength. Little SA, so we can see our target down there. Let's sort this out. Our laser, we don't want to be too zoomed in. As we get closer, it will become slightly slight hindrance. I'm going to get my wingman.
Flight.
He might just take a bit of triple A away from us. 40%, 50, 60, firing laser. Bomb away. Right, autopilot off. Let's just start turning away. Got to keep that laser on the target. It's important, otherwise there's no point coming.
Shack, secondaries.
Excellent. Right, first thing, laser off. Okay, we're good. Right, let's check our altitude. It's easy to climb up. And get the interest of that SA-10. Right, let's put ourselves in orbit with our autopilot on. Now we should select a GBU-12. It's in instant. 5 miles from target. Take our autopilot off. Right, I want to select another target. Let's go for the building next door. Select that one, so we've got our GBU-12 bomb line when we turn back onto target. Just be careful of our altitude, 8,700 at the moment. Okay, this is what we want. Don't drop the nose too much in the turn. We are unbalanced. Might choose another building when we get lined up just to make sure we're not hitting the same one. Get ourselves a little bit of SA here. A little bit of help. 8,600 feet. Coming back onto the target. Should see the bomb line coming up with our GBU-12s. Let's get lined up. It's okay. Get our altitude hold on. We're good. I think it's that building to the left, so we're okay. We'll go, but we'll pick another one away from the smoke. That's what we'll go with. So the bomb line will reposition. 24 seconds before we drop. Just get lined up on that baby. Okay. Get speed up. Winkle. Firing laser. Bomb away. Let's zoom out a bit. Using our sensor select switch. Let's keep that weapon on the zone, otherwise there's no point coming. Trying to avoid the AAA as we're doing it. Bang.
Shack! Shack!
Excellent.
Shack!
Right, laser off. Okay, right, 9,200 feet. Let's just drop down a little bit. Ease off on the power. Right, let's reselect our sure we're flying the aircraft. Yeah, we're on instant. That's good. Let's select another target. This one here. We're going to laser it in anyway. Go for another GBU 54 this time. What's our altitude? 10,000 feet. Come on. Keep ahead of the aircraft. Let it get ahead of me. Right, let's just drop down slightly. Do not want to attract that SA-10 or fly into a mountain, so let's put our NVGs on. I've got a little bit of work to do now. That's fine. 8,000 feet. We're good. Let's put it up. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get on top of it. Right. That's good. Oh, fly the aircraft, fly the aircraft, fly the aircraft. I've gone too near with that little baby. It's okay. We'll go around again. Thousand feet. Just give ourselves a little bit of distance this time to sort ourselves out in the aircraft. Okay, that's better. Slight turn, which is alright. Okay. 4 miles from the target, it gives us a little bit of distance. Go back in with the GBU 54. There's our man over there, being about as useful as he usually is. I'll tell you what I'm going to get him to do. Let's get him to try and take out some air defences. Something.
Flight. Engage air defenses.
Try again.
Flight. Engage air defenses.
Right, autopilot off. Let's turn back onto target.
2. Engaging air defenses.
Yeah, 12 miles from target. It gives me a bit more time now to get myself sorted. Could have just left it on GBU 12s, I guess, where the aircraft was already set up for. Probably would have been a bit more sensible, but nevertheless.
2. Running in.
Over miles. That's good. Right, now let's do what we got to do. That's good. Transfer that data. Okay, we're in instant. Okay, we're there. Bit of speed up might help us live. You never know. Hopefully our wingman will attract a bit of fire. Start counting up in probability of hit now. Get ready to fire the laser. Firing laser. Pickle. Right, let's turn away so we don't get hit by that 57mm. Oh, he's dropped something on something. Wonders will never cease. Whoa. Watching that T-pod. Come on. And flying the aircraft. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Shack!
Yes,
Shack!
the whole thing's
Shack!
gone up. Look at that. Right. Stay focused. Autopilot on. Pilot on. 5.6.
Holy smokes, the whole place went up.
Focus, Uzi. Target destroyed. Something big went up.
Roger, RTB. Good job. Stay out of the SA-10.
I'm just going to go, so we've got waypoint 6 over here. This should take us just in the general direction of away. And we'll head on to waypoint 7 for the coast. Have a look at our altitude. Nearly 10,000 feet. Let's just drop down. Lower our nose slightly in the turn. Right, we're chasing this waypoint here because we've been evading it. Let's go to waypoint 7, which is back to the coast. Right, let's just get lined up here for the coast. Right. Okay. Lights. Where are we? Rejoin formation. I should know this by now. That's
Flight,
it.
join up.
Right, excellent. There's a whole lot of mess we've created down there. Right, let's recenter our T-pod. Just stay relatively low for a bit till we get to the coast. Fuel state loads. Well, I don't want to jinx anything, but going well so far. Wingman's still alive. It's good. Sun's up. Right, let's switch our HUD over to A and turn it down a bit.
Focus, Uzi. Siri Island is closed. Divert to Liwa. Tonkin 95X. Texaco available. Tonkin 50X.
Oh, Liwa. Okay.
Roger. Liwa 95X. What happened?
Stand by, Uzi. I'll have more in a few.
Okay, so 95 X-ray. Let's go back to nav mode. And we're looking at 196 miles, guys. Ooh. There we go. Autopilot back on. At 192 degrees. Okay, that's right. We'll just stay this altitude till we get feet wet, and then we will climb up for a more efficient transit, even though we've got loads and loads of fuel, and it'd probably be better to burn a load off, but there we go. Right, pretty successful. Right, let's have a little look so we can fence out there. We've still got, what have we got on board? Better double check. We've got one GBU 12 back on, still on board there. Could be okay, the aircraft's handling okay. We'll leave that. All taxpayers' money after all. Right guys, well, unless anything interesting happens, I'll see you a bit nearer where we're going. We've got 184 miles to go. See you shortly.
Focus, Uzi. It looks like we are going home. Someone had enough and they decided not to play ball anymore.
Roger that. 1-2. 1-1. You got that?
Affirm. We move from one sandy base to another. Not gonna be a cop anymore. Right when I was getting used to the idea.
I have a feeling it won't be long before we go to Afghanistan, buddy. If there's grunts on the ground, we gotta be in the air.
Got a feeling we might not be going to Afghanistan now. But just a hunch, I don't know. Right guys, we are now 60 miles from our airfield, which I believe is in the United Arab Emirates. We're just approaching the coast. We've got a teapot on just to help me have a little look for it. I haven't got a frequency for it. Obviously it will come up on the menu up here. But I haven't got the frequency dialed in, so whether it'll allow me to talk to them or not, I'm not sure. So we can go on with blind calls and see what happens. 60 miles to go, guys. See you when we're a bit closer. Right, okay, so we're just going to use the teapot just to try and find the airfield. So attack hands here, just slew the teapot up here. Have a little look-see, see what we can see. We can't see it yet, but that's certainly going to be able to help us. We can have a look at the runway layout and give us a bit better chance to make a nice approach. Right, okay guys, so we are now 38 miles from the airfield. We've located it on our teapot using the map, so we can see where we are to a degree. I don't know what the orientation is, where the wind's coming from. Unless we can see any smoke anywhere. It may let us know what runway's in use as we approach. So we'll just make it up as we go along. At least we can get an idea what we're looking at. Helicopter there by the look of it. VH53, I believe. Be wrong. So that's to look out for. Conflicting traffic. So I'm in a slight descent.
Leeward Tower, Uzi flight. You guys have room for 2 more?
Welcome home, boys. Plenty of room. We may even find a shower and a case of beer for you.
Roger that. We're a little low on fuel. Can we get priority landing?
Nice try, buddy. Tanker available if you need it.
What a tosser. What about the runway in use and useful things like that? QFE? No. I think he might be getting a present in his footlocker at some point. Okay, what we do is we'll just join across the runway, going to a left down circuit. Okay, that's fine. So we are 20 miles. Beauty of having our teapot locked on is we can actually locate it pretty easily. Go. Now if I'd remembered what my old school said, he's a real jet pilot, I could have done a nice approach arriving at exactly the right altitude over the runway, but I can't remember what he said, so we're just going to point at it. Start easing off. I'm going to arrive at 500 miles an hour, or knots. ,8,000 feet. And we just join crosswind across here and then go into the left hand circuit. ,3,000 feet. Autopilot off. 900 feet. 800 feet, which is where I want to be. Busted through slightly. Not quite perpendicular, but hopefully no one's looking. Hard up. Gear down, flaps down. Infill 1-1 downwind. Loads of fuel. I'm going to come in for a rolling landing, obviously. Just trim. Trim, 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 trim.
Focus 1-1. Passing waypoint 3 at 30,000.
Through the centre line, so I hope there's no one here to notice. Slightly uneven because of the PPU 12 on one side. There's that helicopter just up in front of us, just using a bit of reverse thrust. Not pretty, but we're down. Oh. Okay, that's okay. Not mess it up now. Bit of forward, gentle. That's better. That's better. Okay. Keep the speed down. I don't know where we're parking. We haven't had any communication effectively with the tower, so I'm going to dump it somewhere appropriate up here. Always move it later. These big hangars look like the most obvious place where we might have some ground crew. Just follow the yellow line, follow the yellow brick road. We can have a little look what we're going to do. I think I'm just going to put it in here. I think we'll just leave it here because then we've got an option if they need us to move it. And again, that will upset someone blocking the taxiway. Let's put it in here so you can keep the heat off of it. Whoa! Well guys, that was interesting. Last mission. I'll see you in debrief. For summing up. Hi folks, welcome to the debrief. So let's just see how we got on here. We took off from Siri, made our way north up to the mainland, following our waypoints. Just hitting waypoint 3 here at the coast, as you remember. And then we bear left to waypoint 2 at the coast. Waypoint 3 is up here. There's our target. Let's just slow this down a little bit. So as we discussed, if you just extend your track on waypoint 3, you can then just nip between these two areas of high ground here. Obviously, if you're coming in at the prescribed 20 odd thousand feet, this doesn't matter. You can see from back here, but you would come in like this to waypoint 4 and then hit waypoint 5 here. So anyway, I've elected to come in low level to avoid the SA-10 threat. We will come in between these two areas of high ground here, which I think's a more appropriate approach if he's doing this for real. And as proven, we can still avoid the AAA fairly easily. I've flown this mission quite a lot and I've not been shot down at all. So we come in, as you saw, drop off whatever you're going to drop off first, GBU 54 in this case. We could argue that we should just stay east-west to try and keep away from this SA-10, which is a pretty good argument to be honest, because I start coming in north-south and come up over here. However, if you stay low, there's plenty of mountain ranges obscuring you from that threat. But as an improvement, after looking at the attack view, it would have been better for me to stay east-west. Because I do come up quite an area, into an area up here, but I was sort of avoiding the AAA at the time, which as you can see, there's a lot of, but I do come quite close. So it's just worth bearing in mind. But as long as you stay low, it's not too bad, but it would be better to go east-west. So yeah, so we just, as you saw, drop off some ordnance. I got a bit close on one of them. I got my wingman to start attacking stuff. And then we head in the general direction of away once it all blows up, which was good. So a review of the campaign as a whole. I thought it was really good. I mean, I've never flown the Harrier before. I learned the Harrier specifically for this campaign. It's not billed as a tutorial campaign, so there was a lot of work in the background. for me, as you can imagine. A lot of missions set up, learning individual weapons and learning how to fly the thing, especially landing it on the carrier, which is, you know, challenging, which is what we want in areas. We want nice, you know, like a good challenge. But it's really good. I mean, the amount of effort that's gone in by SorelRo into this campaign is immense. You know, it's not perfect, like nothing is. It must be frustrating when, you know, DCS is upgraded in the background, so the AI behaves differently to as you expected it when you wrote the mission, which happened on sort of one occasion, which did make things a little bit frustrating. But, you know, guys, if that's the worst thing that happens to us, we're doing all right. I really enjoyed it. I've come out the other end of it with a greater knowledge of how to fly the Harrier. Obviously, massive improvement, and if you could check out some of the guys on YouTube who are experts at the Harrier, then, you know, we could all aim at that. But I thought it was absolutely great, and I felt like I was very immersed in the campaign, in a very interesting part of the world. I've learnt some geography of that area, you know, little islands and Siri Island and Kish Island and different areas that we've, you know, unfortunately dropped bombs on people, but c'est la vie. That's what it is, guys. So yeah, I would definitely buy it. I think it was $10. As I said before, it's less than a pint of beer in London. So, I mean, for the amount of effort put in, it's absolutely brilliant. And well done to SorelRo, and let's hope we see some more coming from that direction. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Please leave comments below. I'll be flying the Spitfire in the next campaign, and probably for the next few campaigns. Proper flying, stick and rudder stuff, Mark 1 eyeball. Hope you're going to enjoy it. See you on the next one. Winkle out.